All right, good morning, guys. Quick sound check. There is the bell. Awesome, thank you. I think we got to watch Meta today. 591.56 being that key kind of line in the sand for it. I'm not super I'm not super happy overall here, but we're at about 175,000 contracts traded here for the S&Ps coming into the bell. We do have some weakness in gold, just kind of coming down closer towards those levels. The one that I missed this week, which I even talked about it in the Sunday stock talk here, was crude oil. This thing has made the move down here into this lower zone, about 80 bucks here, and a really nice move overall there in the oil markets. So I'm conflicted on the indices. We've had oil move, we've had gold move, but not get the lower levels first. And we've essentially had the Nasdaq come down and trade that 29,085s. And now, I mean, this is a 106 point opening range here in the first 2 minutes of the day. On a little gap down essentially into nowhere there. So interesting first move out of the gate. But yeah, I don't really know what we do as long as we stay inside this range for the S&Ps. I don't think there is anything we can do. And that range I'm talking about here, specifically for the SPY, would be this 762.92s up to 766.74s. And kind of same picture there with NASDAQ, a little wider, is 29,011s, which we technically did come down fairly close to last night. And then kind of somewhere up here around 29,350s, 400s, give or take, is where we've basically just been contained inside of. Meta getting sold off that level there. See, I'm not in any big rush here to really do much. Kind of a crazy opening drive with where we opened at 174s. Yeah, yesterday's opening print was 297s. I mean, you can make an argument for S&Ps here to basically hold 7680s, which we're essentially doing. Yeah, a ton of chop. A ton of chop, most likely. Russell trying to rally back here now over opening print. Maybe that doesn't move. NASDAQ getting sold there. Russell is actually pushing there a little bit. It did just make new highs. So far, only market to do so. Meta completely rejected off that 591s. Russell, a little rejection now off of that new high print. Wait, NASDAQ really just go all the way back up to... Look at that 2-minute chart. What a complete reversal on that. Wow, Meta got rocked. Russell actually pushing here a little bit. S&P is back at new highs there. Damn, Meta is getting smoked. Like, crazy smoked. If that could chill, then maybe there's something to do in there, but I mean, we just dropped like 30 points like it was nothing. Meanwhile, Dow's going through highs here. S&P's made new highs there. You can make an argument for S&P's here, but it's just a long inside this range. A 5-minute 1-2-3 type of look to it. Nothing super spectacular with it. AMD, Microsoft have some strength. If you're trading S&Ps, you're kind of looking for 75 or 77.05s, but I guess you could make the same argument for NASDAQ too, as a little 5-minute 1-2-3 type of look to it, but NASDAQ just pulled all the way back to 223s there. Hello. Okay. uh, I think my toss is like jammed up. You can't even keep up with the movement. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what that was. Russell with some good strength. Meta is still struggling here. I mean, it's holding this 562 area so far. I don't know what that spike was, but S&Ps look like they want to try and press that 77.05 50s here. Russell actually with a pretty decent rally there. $76.99 50s traded there for S&Ps. But we'll probably come right back down. Like, I'm not tripping in like the way this price action is moving, right? It's like jumping around. Like that wasn't just my PC running slow or something, or Toss giving me issues. Like we were just scooting on around everywhere. Dow's back under opening print. Russell still holding well. Rallying even. AMD getting a nice little rally, as is Microsoft. I'm gonna take a look over these single stock futures are looking like in terms of volume. Nvidia the most at the moment at 118, Netflix at 51 contracts, and Apple at 46. So still nothing really, not a ton of volume there. We need considerably more volume to be able to do anything with those. Gold getting a little bit of rally. Again, Dow is back under opening print. That's the first market to do so. NASDAQ catching some weakness there now. Off highs. Anybody see anything? Nothing. You won't be taking a trade today? It's probably not a terrible thing. S&P's trying to push back up there. NASDAQ as well. Can you get a YM divergence? What you think this is? Burger King? The Dow getting back up over opening print. All right, Christian. Have a good one, bro. I mean, like, maybe this thing wants to push up to like 890s, but I just don't know that that's even worth the idea that it doesn't. The one that's probably the best looking index at the moment is the Russell, honestly. What's up, Dave? Can we fast forward to next month? Honestly, I like joked about that in the chat yesterday and just said, do we come back in September? And it's kind of maybe true. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't blame you. What is it, Wednesday? You wanted a short gold? I mean, I think it needs to get down to those levels, but I wouldn't necessarily short that. It could work, but it's too strong. But I still consider us in the box. Yeah, I mean, we're in the do not trade zone at the moment. Like, there's nothing. Like I said, there was something maybe earlier if you wanted like that little 5-minute 1, 2, 3. But and Russell back over the open, but we're just not in a great spot in general. News doesn't matter. News doesn't affect my strategy, what I do. I don't, like, obviously I'm aware of news, like when it's coming out. I check the Forex Factory calendar, stuff like that. But I don't care what the news is or isn't. I mean, that news came out at 8:30. Markets went lower if we're looking specifically at the Russell, right? We went, I don't know, 13, 14 points lower in the Russell. We went 100 points lower in the NASDAQ. We went 15-ish points lower in the S&Ps. And we're right back here now. So you could argue that that news didn't really matter. Are you new here, Dave? I don't think I've seen you chat before. Well, welcome. Appreciate you tuning in. I'll give you a little rundown though. So essentially for what I do, I developed this strategy called levels. And so for me, levels is essentially just level to level. So market moves from one point to the next, from one level to the next. And it does so with kind of insane accuracy. So for me, like Meta, for example, today, we had levels up at 591.56s, and we had levels down here at 562.94s. Now, I was kind of interested in us getting through 591s, considering the gap up, right? But we managed to open beneath that, which is important for me. So we opened beneath that and instead rejected from 591.56s and went literally right back down to 562.94s, right? So that's an example of level to level. Same thing here in like the SPY, right? Is yesterday we have this level here, 766.74s. We have this lower level, 762.92s. And we're just trapped right inside that. Now, yeah, we're pushing through it by just a little bit right now, but if we look at the S&Ps, for example, Maybe. Ta-da. We'll get there. Just bear with me. There we go. If we look at the S&Ps, for example, and we can kind of go back here to kind of look at yesterday's action, right? So we have 77.0550s, S&Ps, SPY, basically same thing, right? The levels will be slightly different between the two, just based on, S&Ps trade for an extra 15 minutes every day. They have rollovers, things like that, right? So our level on the downside was the 76.63, which you can see we traded legitimately to the tick, which is that same level in the SPY, right? And then we have 77.0550s right up here. So, which is where essentially we had tested yesterday morning and rejected from. So there's an SPY level like right in through here, basically where what we just looked at, where we're trading at now. And this zone that we're in is, for me, what's considered a do not trade zone. So I'm not looking to do anything inside of that range, just because the idea being is that we're in that slop, we're in that chop. And in order for us to get to what would be the next level, one way or the other, we have to break through these current ones, right? And we just haven't done that yet. So in the meantime, we're just sitting here, twiddling thumbs and, kind of doing what it is. So until we can do that. And we do have a level up above in the NASDAQ, which we haven't quite been able to test this week. We did get close in pre-market the other day, which is at 482s. So yeah, for me, everything's price-based, and centered around the levels. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Oh, Russell making a move, 30-20s. So yeah, that's a quick little kind of elevator pitch on it. How'd you find MLT? He said sold, sign me up. Man, meta bouncing right in that area. Oh, okay. Yeah, very nice. Well, I can grab you. Let me see. I think this is the right link. I'll drop you a free link to the Discord here in chat if you're not already in the Discord. And if you have any questions, whatever, you want to reach out to me, you can shoot me a DM through there or Instagram. Doesn't really make a difference. One of the two. There's a couple free tools there in the Discord as well. And then I post the nightly videos and YouTube live links, all that kind of stuff in there. Dow is failing that opening print again. I honestly don't know that there's going to be much to do today, which I feel like we kind of expected coming into the day. This Russell's still holding strong. I don't know that there's enough room still left in this thing on the day. We just rallied about 18 points or so off lows. So I'm not super interested in trying to buy it up here, but NASDAQ here getting rejected. Meanwhile, the Dow is actually trying to hold opening print one more time. Little bottoming tail in there. I just think this movement's so erratic. Like if we had a better, we just had more volume, we had better markets, then the idea of a Dow long potentially would be interesting and okay from opening print here, but I don't think so. Someone just hacked the Apex server. They didn't even hack the server, they just hacked someone's account. They just started tagging a bunch of things. Oh my gosh. They're promoting like a Mr. Beast giveaway thing on Twitter. It's like one of those spam things. It's like, come on, people. Wake you up when it's over? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I did not see prediction markets coming to Ninja. When is that supposed to be? We got a straight up reversal in the Dow like that. No, I'm not marking anything super tight at the moment. That's kind of crazy. Literally prediction markets everywhere. I don't know where your message went to just now. That's crazy. Prediction markets are huge. It's honestly kind of crazy. This market is moving so slow. What's up, Nick? Am I looking for buys or sells? At the moment, I am open to anything. No. I don't really have anything on the board at the moment unless we can break out of these levels here for S&P or SPY. I'm kind of watching Meta potentially. I think, well, let me rewind. I kind of think the Russell has some strength here. I don't know where it goes with it. If it can hold this and kind of, work towards like yesterday's highs, which are up here like 30.25s. So like another, I don't know, 9 points or so to the upside. I don't really know if that's worth it. Um, and then I'm kind of watching Meta to see if we can get under those 562s. If we can get under those 562s, then there's potentially something there. Otherwise, uh, otherwise I don't really have anything here. I kind of think gold still needs to go a little bit lower yet. and get a bit more of a pullback. We might come down and get a divergence here in the Dow and kind of set lows in there maybe. If we do that, then maybe Russell longs are potentially on the board. But I'm also like just super cool with doing nothing. So yeah, I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of open to both. Nasdaq kind of coming down there. AMD, which did have good strength this morning, kind of giving that back now. $9 or so off those highs. Dow looks to be about to get those new lows. There's those new lows for the Dow. All right, Dave. Appreciate you coming on, hanging out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification so you know when we go live. I'm just kidding. Appreciate you, man. Nasdaq kind of bumped under these little 20, whatever this low is over here, 206s. I don't think there's anything to do with it, but Nasdaq's got, or Russell's got this 1270 down here if it wants to kind of bump that little low. And Russell kind of giving it up there. Maybe S&Ps go back down towards those lower levels here. I mean, we did just kind of reject off those highs and push down about 15 points or so. Russell here, this would kind of be that area I would expect to see if we're gonna hold. It's essentially from here, like I said, right around this 1270-ish area, with Dow getting new lows, little divergence, maybe. Dow's gonna trade these 510s again, it looks like. It's that area we spent a bunch of time at yesterday. And Russell traded 1390s there. Essentially just fading this whole thing. NASDAQ looks like it wants to give up opening print here for a moment, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. NASDAQ new lows there. Dow traded 512. It was minus 428 on the ticks there. NASDAQ does this and Meta actually puts in 2 green bars here. Yeah. Dow trading those 510s. This actually, yeah, we took out overnight lows there for the Dow. Only market actually to do so as well. Kind of wouldn't be surprised to see that pop a little bit. But considering the weakness everywhere else, I don't know that that's even... I guess that works. You could short it down into there. NASDAQ, a little bit of rally there. Back up to opening print. Dow right back down under these 510s now. I don't know. There's nothing here. I mean, I suppose if you think NASDAQ is going to hold, then longs here off open with some type of divergence maybe, but off to the gym before you press buttons. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea either. I mean, what is this for? That's just an ugly topping tail on NASDAQ. Like, we really want to play longs back into that. Even more impressive if it does it. Yeah, I mean, I could see the argument for a couple things, but it's like, It's like, eh. Russell faded pretty well there. Straight up, just 5-minute red bars straight to the downside. I kind of would have thought that would have held at some point, but no go in there either. Dow sitting right here, basically right at those 510s. You can make an argument that tries to hold here. If it does, maybe you're getting 50-ish points out of it. Same argument whether NASDAQ holds or not too. There is a level there, but $10.32. If we go straight back up into like the middle of this range, I don't think that's going to be the case, but it's pretty ugly looking little reaction so far out of the Dow. Traded up to 524s there. $524 getting tested again there. Russell got a little bit of a reaction there. 3010 area. I mean, I guess we technically do have the divergence there, so it wouldn't be. We have a divergence plus levels, so it wouldn't be too out of the blue of a move if it did manage to rally some. NASDAQ coming back down. uh, if we do rally all the way back in the Dow to like 780s, there's a nice little NASDAQ pop opening print right down here, 174 area. There's a 50-point pop out of NASDAQ for that. Oh, Tradeify just reset their 40% off discount there. 5 more use cases at 40% off. Russell pushing down now. I don't know. There's nothing. It's nothing fantastic here. I legitimately will not be all that surprised if the Dow manages to rally this all back and go get those overnight highs. It would make no sense, but it would make sense at the same time. You still got those 226 calls for today, Shadow? Isn't that what they were? 226? We need a moonshot for you. Russell just traded opening print there, I think. My charts are incredibly slow. Yeah, 3007.50s traded there. We traded .40s. .30s just traded. $10.43. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking we rally this back. I don't really know that I want to play it, but yeah, I don't know. As long as you get one. I kind of want to try some Russell. If it gets back up over 307.50s. But at the same time, like, do I really want to do anything? That low is 306.10. Nasdaq with a little sweep and push there. Dow with a retest of 510s there. Meta getting a nice little move there now. Um, I don't know. I gotta go pee. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. NASDAQ rallying a decent little bit there. Meta also making some moves there now too. I don't know what we do with this. NASDAQ caught a nice little rally there, and then essentially now turning around, giving it back maybe, or wanting to give it back. Dow's trying to hold these 510s. I'm half tempted along the Dow. It's either a long in the Dow or a long in the Russell off open for an attempt, but with NASDAQ kind of coming back down, it's like, it's not as pretty. It would essentially be here. I'm not taking it, but Gold is actually getting a little move lower after that attempt to rally. I'm probably going to regret the Dow. Not taking it, but you still hanging out, Hassan? Your idea of a gold short might not actually be too terrible for that move down into 46.37s. 25-ish points, right? It's not bad. The low is 46.53.30s. We might just go get it without being able to do anything with it, though. Dow's kind of moving there now a little bit as well. Nice rally there in the Dow. Coming off those 510s. This gold looks like it could make that move. Whoa. Meta looking like it wants to move. If that can get through 591.56s, then I could be interested there. Let's see what these would go for. Yeah, those 590s went all the way down to like 20 cents. I'm back up at $3.25. Russell not looking great. Trying to get back under those 3007.50 opening print. No, I don't exercise options. I've been assigned one time on something that I held, but I was not trying to be. I wasn't trying to exercise it or be assigned or anything, but it just ended up happening. I was just asking for you like 15 minutes ago up here on like 65, 63s. I think it's trying to get that push down to 46, 37, 40s now. Russell give a little shimmy there. 0610s, 0620s. No, I didn't quite do it. The Dow is looking good off those 510s. That's the one thing I wish I kind of had on at the moment was a little bit of Dow long from 510 area. It'd only be up about 40 points or so, but it looks good. I guess we did kind of get there in silver. Yeah, it's getting a rally back now in the gold markets. We still can't really do anything with the Russell here. What is it, 1110? I've probably been sitting here for too long at this point. Russell seems to say that it wants lower. It's rejecting this 3007.50 area there. The big struggle right now is whether or not Russell wants to hold this 3007 to 50s. A lot of profits that come from just a few months and a lot of other small break even. Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like that 80-20 rule, right? Where like 80% of your profits essentially are coming from like 20% of the trades in which you take. I mean, like there's there's certain swing trades and things at times that'll be like, and trying to put percentages around them is kind of difficult, but like there'll be swing trades that essentially make up like 10, 15, 20% of like the year, right? Like there's kind of core position swings that end up being absolutely phenomenal, like home runs. And they're kind of designed in that way. One, obviously you have a higher time frame chart in your favor. You can buy a little bit more time, you can trade shares, etc. And they can make stupid returns. So yeah. From a day trading perspective though, I would say it's more along that 80-20 line. It's like right now, it's like, I don't know, let me trade a micro here or there. And we just kind of skate by over the last couple of weeks. But what, 2 weeks before that essentially was back-to-back bangers like the entire week that made the whole month, right? So there'll be 2 or 3 days, maybe even 4 days. Like there's gonna be 1 week that's like phenomenal inside of that month that essentially makes the entire month, and then your whole job from there is just not to ruin it. August, we really haven't had that. There's been some decent trades, but there hasn't been anything that's like phenomenal, like home run type of. There's been a couple opportunities where we've put on like, you know, trying to capture those 8, 9, 10R type trades, but they just haven't hit. They just haven't worked. And again, part of that's no follow through, current market conditions, etc. But yeah, there to reframe that in a different way, there are certainly going to be quote unquote droughts in terms of the amount of money in which you make at a given time. Like not every day is consistent. There's no there's no way to consistently have a consistent like $200 a day type of thing, right? Or whatever the number is. That just doesn't happen. Like, nor will it ever happen. Nor would I nor would I tell you to like try and strive for that. You know what I mean? Oh, we might have just hit that 38.30s, 38.20s. Thought we might have just hit that level for the for gold there. Makes sense. I'm getting really good at getting risk off in shittier conditions, but then you see some other guys talking about taking winners, and it could be easy to think I should be trading more. It just depends on the style. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it boils down to. Like, some scalpers in this market, I'm sure they're having a blast, honestly. Like, reversion to mean type of range bound type of traders, they're probably doing great. Breakout traders, trend traders, lotto style traders, probably not so much. Like I said, I think I'm like 0 for 15 on my lottos in like the month of August. And that's even considering like, what is it we had the other day? Oh, the QQQ. We had the 710s, right? Looking for 716s. Was this Monday? I think it was when we made that move down. It feels like it was longer than 2 days ago. Yeah, Monday, right? 2 days ago. Yeah, because the opening print was right around 709s and change. Yeah, 709.66s. So yeah, like essentially 29 239s, which is where we were trying to get back to essentially for that open area. Those we picked up for like 10 cents. I think they traded to like 74 cents on a high, maybe. I was trying to get out of some right around $1, and the end goal for those was to go to $6. So like I didn't take any off. Now, granted, that lotto position was up technically like sevenfold, right, at one point. I could have taken some off at like 50 cents, 60 cents, whatever the case is, right? I was trying to get $1 because that was the next level above the open, was like 710.60 maybe, I think it was. Let me see. Yeah, 710.60. So I thought we'd kind of get up to there. They'd be 60 cents in the money, should have 40 cents worth of premium in them, and we'd get $1 out of them. And then from there, it really wouldn't have mattered. Like we could take 10% of the position off, and it's essentially a risk-free trade. If we go to $6 with 90% of our position on, like that makes up for legitimately all of the lottos. So yeah, and it just didn't work. Like I would take that trade again, hands down, every single time. That was off that 703.26s here for Qs. But yeah, it just hasn't worked. So like in the event that the trade presents itself again, like I'm gonna take it again. It might take me, and that's the difference in the lottos, right? Is like I might go 15 trades with no winners in lottos from like the management style. Yes, I could take them off for 20, 30% or 20, 30 cents, 200-300% type thing. But like that's not the goal of those trades. The goal of those trades for me is like I want those things to go like 30, 40x. So like if I'm buying them for 10 cents, I want them at like $3-4, if not more. Because then it pays for a lot of lottos. So if that was strictly all I was doing, then yeah, it'd be rough. But the sizing is also extremely important. Like at the end of the day, your lotto is not going to be a full size R. If your normal R value is $1,000, for example, your lottos are not going to be $1,000. I suppose they could be, but it'd be a really bad day. You would also manage them a little bit differently in that regard. I know, I saw that 38.20s. So annoying. So annoying. Russell here right back up to opening print area. Oh yeah. That's good. Speaking of that, I might just go ahead and call it a day at this point because I don't see that there's anything for me to do. I'm kind of looking at this Dow and it's like we might fail this 510s. Like we probably shouldn't have spent this much time as close to it as we could as we have. Um, we kind of look like we want to fail it and go lower. I don't really want to do anything with that, but and that's the thing. Like when you see some like random, specifically for me, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can make good valid arguments for longs here off 510s earlier in the day. Now I can make valid arguments for potential shorts here off 510s. Like we got 6-7 minutes here till the close, and there's room down to 234s, 270 points give or take. Still plenty of room there. On the other side, there's still 780s above, which is 270 points to the upside. Nasdaq's in a range, S&P's in a range, Russell weaker than most, under opening print there. I mean, you can start making that argument both ways for essentially everything. And I mean, 20 minutes ago, I was kind of regretting not being long the Dow when we were up at 550s. And now I'm saying, hey, under 510s, we might actually get rocked. So it's like, if I'm doing that and I'm flip-flopping, like, it's probably not the greatest of signs. Maybe we die and so do your calls. It's possible. Oh, he's got calls and Qs. They don't have far to die, though. You only got to lose a penny at this point. I mean, the gap down and immediately rally of 150 points wasn't bad for you, but the fact that we couldn't get follow through. NASDAQ there with a big bar back. $11.29. A cashless exercise. So what? They'll allow you to essentially exercise the shares and sell them at whatever current price is. That's kind of dope. You just collect a check then. I didn't know they did that. Who do you have who's doing the cashless exercise? Is that Toss or Schwab? Hmm. That's kind of interesting, honestly. The Dow might be leading that move lower for you there, Shadow. I think we'd have to get down under this 426 area. Kind of a good first little start to it. I don't know if it gets to 234s or not, but Nasdaq just acts like it wants to hold though. This Instagram that I want is taken. Waiting for September, gonna go to yard work. Yeah, we still got like 2 weeks for that. Just immediately rallying this back here in the NASDAQ. We're also kind of looking like maybe it wants to get back over that 0750s on a rally here. There's just nothing here. $11.41. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I've scanned everything at this point. Crude oil did get a nice bounce here out of that $80 area down there. We traded that 80.55. Is almost too pretty there. That's literally what was written in the Sunday Stock Talk. Crude oil is catching some early selling. We got the potential for it to get down into 80.55 to 79.49s, which it did in fact do. Right down in there to 80.55s. $562.94. Pretty much right at the lows. We are actually getting up through that opening print there for the Russell. There's nothing to do here. I'm working on some other stuff sitting here, but I do need to go ahead and run and get a couple other things done on the day. It could certainly have some sympathy for it, yeah. I could see it having some sympathy to the move and trying to rally with it if it does rally. I could see that being a thing. I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna run. There, maybe Nasdaq tries to break out here and do something to the upside. Maybe the Dow is done going lower and now wants to rally from these 510s again. I don't know. I just don't see it. Yeah, gold front ran that level down there, unfortunately. I'm looking over this school thing again, and I found this group, Trading for Women, TFW Global. Trading for Women by Women. They got 1,900 people in there paying 35 bucks a month. Two, four, five. I've never seen any of these girls in my life. Yo. Good for them. I still don't know. I don't know their name or anything. Mm, oh wait, there is a link. Let me see. Hold on. Russell gave that up. This is their. No way, that's right. They haven't posted in forever. Where? Where are they getting the people? Hmm. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna run. Oh, what is that? What is that? Putin news is escalating in Ukraine. Hmm. Doesn't even look like it though. Doesn't even look like it. Where's this place even at? They gotta give me a place in Maine. I ain't in freaking Maine. NASDAQ is getting a little push lower there. I'm not doing anything with this again. I'm just still here for a minute. NASDAQ is making that move lower though. NASDAQ making a bigger move lower than like the Dow here. Oh, I just got that news. Putin is reportedly preparing to escalate attacks on Ukraine after concluding peace talks have reached a dead end. How did that get by the YouTube little chat feature thing there? That's kind of crazy, actually. All right, I'm gonna roll. I'm done. I gotta get a couple other things done here, and it's already. I didn't realize it was already 12 o'clock. I was working on some other stuff here, and just watching markets on the side there. But yeah, there's nothing to do with this. So yeah, doubt anybody has any questions. But anyways, yeah, that's what I got. I'm gonna go ahead and look to skedaddle on up out of here. And then I'll check back in a little bit later. I set some alerts. I doubt we're gonna go too far, that there's any reason to really do or pay attention for much. But yeah. So anyways, I'll check back in a little bit later. Appreciate you guys as always. And yeah, just be safe out there. It's a crazy world in the markets at the moment. Crazy world. So anyways, appreciate you guys as always, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.